Dayton. Today we are focusing on an upcoming mental health conference. This is specifically a Black men's mental health conference. We're going to get all the details you need in just a second. We are going to now introduce our friends who are bringing us those details today. We've got Camillia and we've got Diona. Diona. I got it right the first time. It is a pleasure to have you guys here in studio this morning. How's everybody doing today?
Amazing.
We are happy to have you guys here. So why don't we just start with a really basic detail? I mentioned this as an upcoming mental health conference. Can you just give me the details of when and where this is happening?
Sure. So it will be this Saturday, April the 15th at Sinclair Community College in one of the conference centers.
Simple as that. And why don't we maybe take a step back here? We got the real basics here. Let's take a step backwards and understand, first of all, why this conference is happening and why talking about this is truly a big deal. So maybe you can talk to me about a little bit of the history. Why did you guys first, you and the rest of the team, say, hey, we want to put together this specific conference about mental health and specifically Black men's mental health?
So I'm a survivor of domestic and gun violence, and once I had that experience, I became a champion for both of those issues, working with different lawmakers and politicians and things of that nature, just to ensure the safety and security of domestic violence survivors. And so that's when she came.
And then I came along, and so 3 years ago, my father completed what Diona survived from 3 years ago. He committed suicide. And so we decided to come together and champion for Black men who are experiencing mental health disparities at a very high rate.
I'm very sorry to hear about both of your personal experiences with this, very visceral experiences. So why don't we take a further dive here? Obviously, there's no simple answer here, but what is a little bit of the reasonings that you and your team see behind the disparities in mental health among specifically Black men, and what are some of the things that can be done?
Well, there's a taboo that, mental health, if you have something going on with you, if there's something wrong, don't say anything about it. Just be quiet. And then we've always talked about that whole thing with the trust factor.
Yeah, so one of the biggest things that we see in the Black community, especially with our Black men, is that trust has been lost. And part of what we did to come together is to silence the shame and to bring together a unity and being able to talk and discuss and talk about these hard topics as it relates to mental health issues and domestic violence.
I really appreciate both of you giving us some insight into specifically why this conference is happening. Let's focus on what the conference is going to look like. So you mentioned it's happening this weekend. Tell me about some of the speakers or some of the activities that are lined up to make this a really productive conference, helping as many people as we can in the community.
Oh, so yeah, we have, I always get excited about this, right? So we have an awesome gentleman out of Houston, Texas, who is our keynote speaker, Jay Barnett. His story would be very interesting and enlightening. We have our amazing mayor, Jeffrey Mims. We have your Honorable Judge Rice.
We have the Assistant Police Chief, Eric Henderson. We also have Dr. Eric Charlton, who is a trauma-informed specialist.
Yeah, I mean, so many great speakers are going to be sharing their stories and just insights into mental health this weekend, which I think is truly important. Now, I think we've already talked specifically why there are some issues in specifically the Black men group for their mental health, but it's not just them. There's so many people around our entire society suffering from mental health. Maybe you could just give it to me from your perspective. I mean, what is the one thing you would say to somebody watching right now? Why do we need to continue talking about this and having events like the one this weekend?
Knowledge is important. Where there's a lack of knowledge, people will perish. And so it's important to reiterate the importance of quality mental health, having access to mental health resources, and just sharing and how to reach out to someone in need, or if you are that individual in need, knowing that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to not be okay.
Well, if somebody does want to ask for help, of course, they can come to the event this weekend. So give me the exact details on if someone wants to get tickets or register, what do they need to do?
They definitely can check us out through the website, bmmhc.com, or they can check us out on Eventbrite.
And the real quick thing, of course, this is geared specifically for Black men, but can anybody come?
Anybody can come.
Of course, anybody is welcome, but
Women,
specifically geared for Black men. It was we really appreciate you guys being in studio today. Thank you so much for your time, and best of luck with your efforts this weekend and your